investigative experience that's prepared to prepare you for anything. Investigations lead to impact. Questions with context. And answers that provide understanding. Emmy Laurel Award-winning Eyewitness News investigates with Ken Malloy and Catherine Herr every night on CBS 47. Need help? CBS 47 is on your side. Contact us. Cannabis-based business is coming to the city of Fresno. CBS 47 Eyewitness News and the Fresno Chamber of Commerce are here providing answers. Now an open discussion with law enforcement, merchants, and Mayor Dyer. This is Central Valley Cannabis, the legalized business.
Welcome to this special report, Central Valley Cannabis, the legalized business. I'm Catherine Herr.
And I'm Ken Malloy. But late this summer, the city of Fresno could have 14 cannabis shops open for business, selling everything from marijuana to cannabis concentrate to edibles.
Phase 2 of awarding business licenses is underway right now. Over the next hour, we'll hear from 4 potential marijuana dispensary owners. We'll also hear from Tulare Sheriff Mike Boudreau and Fresno Sheriff Margaret Mims on potential safety concerns.
Plus, 2 local mayors tell us about the tax revenue being generated by marijuana dispensaries in their cities. Also, a leading doctor at Valley Children's Hospital talks about protecting children and teenagers from edibles.
We'll also hear from the Fresno Chamber of Commerce on how the shops could impact other local businesses. And finally, we'll hear from newly elected Fresno Mayor Jerry Dyer, who, when he was police chief, opposed recreational cannabis shops in the city of Fresno.
But we begin with a brief background on this new chapter in the city of Fresno. So how did we get here? Back in 2016, we saw a lot of television commercials on Proposition 64 on the ballot. Remember these ads?
Reform generates $1 billion in new tax revenue in Colorado.
Prop 64. On November the 8th, 2016, California voters passed Proposition 64, the Control, Regulate, and Tax Adult Use of Marijuana Act. It immediately became law, but not in the city of Fresno.
It really is about money, not marijuana.
Back in 2016, we interviewed Dr. Kgpe, a former White House drug policy advisor who heads up the nonprofit group called SAM, which stands for Smart Approaches to Marijuana.
It's going to be a different Fresno than how you grew up, even if you try and opt out of it.
And for a while, the city of Fresno did opt out of allowing legal recreational cannabis shops within the city limits. Initially, the city council did approve the process to start issuing commercial cannabis business permits, but former Mayor Lee Brand vetoed the plan, citing safety and zoning concerns. Adjustments were made, and with a veto-proof 5-2 vote, the new ordinance was passed. And that very different Fresno that Dr. Kgpe referred to was on the way. Marijuana shops like this one in Oregon could soon be taking root in Fresno.
I also have a wild gun certificate. Those are great. Okay.
So where are we now in the process? Well, as of December the 4th, 2020 at 4:01 p.m., the city of Fresno stopped taking regular applications for commercial cannabis business permits. The city is now in phase 2 of reviewing written applications it's received. Eventually, each city council district will be awarded 2 permits, allowing 2 shops in each council district for a total of 14 stores citywide. The city of Fresno now has an Office of Cannabis Oversight. Jennifer Ruiz is the special project manager, and she says an application must score at least 80% on the written application to advance to the verbal or oral interviews. The city manager's office and the city council will ultimately decide which businesses get a permit. That part of the process alone could take another 2 months to fully vet all the potential frontrunners. So in theory, it could be late this summer or perhaps even early this fall before the first shop opens in the city of Fresno. Each shop could potentially generate anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million a year in taxes and fees for the city of Fresno. The shops will be able to sell up to 1 ounce of marijuana plus up to 8 grams of concentrated marijuana to people over the age of 21. The shops can't be closer than 800 feet from schools, youth centers, and daycare facilities.
Be able to smell and kind of get closer.
The city is closely studying every aspect of the permit process, from the potential locations to the long-term business plans and even the backgrounds of the business owners. The city wants to get this right because, like it or not, ready or not, this will soon be a very different Fresno than with what some grew up in. And with that background on how we got here, let's begin our first panel with our 4 potential marijuana shop owners.
We're joined by Tim Dodd of Sweet Flower Fresno, Dustin Moore of Embark, Zach Dravon of Medallion Wellness, and Casey Austin Tibbetts of Cookies Retail.
We want to thank all of you for joining us. I'd like to briefly go around and let you introduce yourselves to our viewers. Casey, let's start with you. You've applied for 3 licenses. If approved, you'd have 2 stores called Lemonade and 1 called Cookies. Tell us briefly about your background and your plans.
Yes, thank you. My name is Casey Austin Tibbetts. I am a local Fresno woman. I'm born and raised in Fresno, and I have been a small business owner for over 30 years, owning a variety of small businesses. For the past 20 years, I've owned a government and public relations firm, which is how I got introduced into cannabis when the city council was first considering it. And as that grew and the ordinance grew, I grew with a relationship with the Cookies Cannabis Corporation. And so the potential to be the majority owner came up, and I saw their business model, I saw the plan for employment, and I decided to proceed forward.
Okay, and Zach Dravon, you're with Medallion Wellness. Zach, you have 5 locations already in the San Joaquin Valley, Stockton, Calaveras County, East Bay, and Merced, and you've applied for 1 license in Council District 4. What are your plans?
Thank you for having us on. Yeah, we started in 2016 as a nonprofit medical cannabis collective in Stanislaus County. We became one of the first licensed retailers anywhere in the region in 2018. And since that time, we've been growing. We now have 5 locations: Stanislaus County, City of Modesto, City of Atwater, City of Merced, and City of Waterford. We actually are currently serving around 1,300 customers in the Fresno area through our delivery service. And we're hoping to become more a part of the community there in Fresno with a brick and mortar storefront at 4854 North Blackstone Avenue, about 2 blocks south of Shaw. So we're very excited for the opportunity and the chance we have to become part of the Fresno community.
Perfect, Zach. Thank you. Our next guest is Tim Dodd with Sweet Flower. Tim, you have several shops in Southern California, downtown Los Angeles, Pasadena, Westwood, Culver City, and apparently others in the works as well. You have applied for 2 licenses in Fresno. One would be in Council District number 1. The other would be in Council District number 7. Tell us about your plans, Tim.
Oh yeah, so Sweet Flower is the leading retail brand in Southern California, and we're the largest independent retailer. So as you mentioned, we have 4 stores in Los Angeles. We are owned, operated, and exclusively focused in California. We have over 30 years of legal cannabis experience in our management team. We're the best-in-class team. We have 100 years of traditional retail, CPG, operations, and finance experience. We love Fresno. I've been very focused on this for some time. So we're very focused on Council District 1 and Council District 7. Both places we've made an unconditional commitment already to the city. I can talk about the number of things we're doing with a number of nonprofits in the city already that we're working with. We joined the Chamber of Commerce as an indication of our commitment to the city. We have a very strong track record of license wins. We have a proven excellence in opening and then rapidly scaling stores from inception to sizable revenue. By the numbers, we have about 100 employees. We're proudly 80% diverse at our store level and 85% diverse at a management team. It's a commitment that we've made to give back to the communities we serve. I believe that operating a cannabis business is a privilege and not a right, and that privilege is earned back every day by giving back to the communities that we serve. So we're looking forward to Fresno.
Thank you, Tim. And Dustin Moore, you're with Embark. And Dustin, you were the day-to-day campaign manager in favor of Prop 64 back in 2016, and you worked with then City Council member Clint Olivier. You applied for licenses in districts 2, 6, and 7. Tell us about your plans.
Yeah, so we feel very fortunate to first, tipping our hat to the city of Fresno to have done what they've done. Having this policy background in cannabis and seeing where the city of Fresno is today, I'm so proud that the ethos of Proposition 64 was carried through with the will of the voters in Fresno. So first and foremost, this policy is right for Fresno. We intend to demonstrate through action that we are a committed community partner to the city of Fresno, as we've done where we operate in other cities today. We've partnered with the Boys and Girls Club in a number of community police activities league, as well as a handful of other nonprofits where we really focus on giving back in the community through the lens of youth drug prevention and education, and really working to help fund efforts to eliminate homelessness in communities, and we really look forward to doing that in the city of Fresno. All three districts that we're applying in have those similar issues. Most of the other communities that we focus on throughout Northern California also have those same challenges. And for us, we feel that demonstrating through action that we're a community partner is the best way to ensure the folks of Fresno get the results they wanted when they voted for this measure.
Okay, Casey, let me ask you about jobs. How many jobs might your dispensaries bring to Fresno? They're good paying jobs. We